doing, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another video here at ScrubGames, and we're in our next of our top 10 staples from set 1. And this time we're going over the blue one. So we're going over the blue staples that I feel are, the blue top 10 that I feel are staples from set 1. And to help you out, and just remember, like we did with the other one, the best way to start off with any colour is to grab a starter deck, or two, depending on how many you want, and then add some cards from it to set 1, even if you're using a set 1 lead. It's good to get the starter decks in so you can get staples from there. But remember, where we go for this, just remember to have a look through them. If you disagree or anything, remember to comment them below. But remember to like, comment, subscribe, because we're on our way to 10,000 still. And all your support can go very well to helping us get there, and it's much appreciated as well. Because if you subscribe, you get updated with my videos as when they drop. And by clicking the notification bell, you can get alerts when they do drop, so you can watch them there then, or at a later time. But with that out of the way, let's get into the video and kind of go over what I feel are the top 10 blue staples from set 1. So, starting with the first one, same with the other one, super combos. Now, unlike red, the super combos in blue don't have any real differences or benefits outside of what character you like. They got the exact same stats, traits, and everything. Just the only difference is their character. Because remember, super combos are really nice in that there are deck building keyword skills, meaning that you can only include 4 copies with the keyword super combo in your deck, but they're very good defensively to defend, because with combo power in this game, you either get cards that have 0, 5k, or 10k combo, but a super combo, if you combo them from your hand defensively during your opponent's turn, they get an extra 10k power, meaning that for one card you can get 20k power, which can make all the difference when comboing, and makes it out comboing with less cards on big swings, which is very handy. So rather than using multiple cards and losing quite a few resources just to fend out one swing, you can use less cards by using super combos. So with blue, depending if you want to use Yajirobe or if you want to use Videl, it's all down to you. But Yajirobe's from the set, whereas Videl you get a playset in the starter deck. So it'd be one good reason to get the starter deck. And just like we have for red, we got boss cards. And the best boss card and the main, really only real boss card in blue is Vegeta here. Because blue doesn't have too many big things that are like great or fantastic like red does, where red does have like a lot of big boss cards. Blue's got a very nice one in Vegeta, so it functions exactly the same as the Goku from red. Being a 5 cost, 35k, 0 combo power, double striker, but his on play is a little bit different, so rather than minusing something by 20k, because that's red's identity, it's all about bouncing and spinning things, because his on play is choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 4 or less, and place it at the bottom of his opponent's deck. So blue is one of the colours which focuses on its removal being cost base rather than power base like red. So bottom deck in a 4 or less is quite good because your opponent paid 4 energy to play that out, and now you just get it off the board while also establishing a big boss card to kind of finish with double strike. And this is a great way to finish, just like we said with Goku. Being able to put, the aim of the game to win is to make your opponent make your opponent take 8 damage for 8 attacks. But a double striker, you can make him take 2 damage in 1. I mean, you can have to do like 7 damage rather than 8, which is really nice. And the more you put these down, you can put this down. If it survives, you put everyone down. That's more pressure and more more aggression you can put down, and it's very good for its cost. So make sure you always got double striker. You don't have to have a playset of this, but a fair few, like 2 or 3, would be very handy to help you finish games. Then we have Selfawakening. So just like with red, you see a few similarities with the colors until we go to like more specifics to like the color identity. But Self-Awaken is another thing, because you want to awaken, because blue has some really good skills that when you awaken. Because, once again, just like with, like we said with red, unlike, the game is more focused, well, the game is a lot more like Masters than it is One Piece. Because it's actually a simplified version of Masters with a few mechanics changed, like no counter plays, and as well, the energy marker, and I think is it main things, but it's similar to One Piece in that it's quite simplistic with effects and how it's just all about combat. And same with Masters, you have the leaders which after they get to a certain life point total, they can flip over to become stronger with more beneficial effects. And for blue has very good ones. You have Trunks that bounces 3 cost or less to hand. You have Vegeta that gains a 15k boost when it's got 7 or less cards in hand, and you've got Goku Black, which you can sack off as a Zamasu to make your Goku Blacks cheaper. So very strong effects, and you kind of want to get to them as quickly as possible, just get that benefit. And Mai's a very good Self-Awakener, because every color's got Self-Awakening, and most of the, like, I think all, if not all, the rest outside of Mai are just like take one life, or take up to one life to do things. Mai is really special, and one like really nice thing that Blue has in that you don't have to worry about taking one. You can take up to two in one go, because they're up on players add up to two cards from your life to your hand. So that means you can, and where it's up to, you can choose either 0, 1, or 2, and it helps you wherever the opponent for keeping your 6. So you have to play 2 Self-Awakeners out to kind of it, which could be quite costly, given that how much depending on what they cost, which some of them cost like 2 or more. For 1 energy, you can use Mai, end up taking yourself from 6 to 4, rather than have to play 2 cards to help yourself down from the same life 6 to 4. And even if you're 5, you can still play it and take out 1. Just a really nice way for a cheap way to help self-awaken to get to your beneficial side and start pressuring. When you do awaken, you not only have that beneficial effect, you're strong as well. At least might go 15k base, 20k base, just to help defensively and offensively too. And then she does have a nice little benefit of being when she's on the board. If you have 7 of your cards in hand, when your cards put something from their board to the opponent's hand, you get a draw card. So it helps in like Blue's identity of like keeping a mid-sized hand and recurring cards. So that's the self-awakening one that way. Then we got cantrips. So just like with red cantrips, every card has got cantrips. Every card apart from green has them in the starter deck, so a good reason to get the starter deck, whereas green has it in the main set. And same thing, just early turns when you got not much energy to play many cards and you want to use them up, because you want to make sure you're using energy rather than wasting it. You want to play some things and get benefits of it. And cantrips are the best way to do it, because when they play out, they replace themselves in hand, meaning you can turn 1, play out Trunks, use up that 1 energy, draw a card, and now it's there to be comboed off defensively or offensively to help out for free, because you've profited by just having this free card now on board, because your hand is the same size as when you played it. And it's a good thing to put in there, because it helps filter your deck to find more things, because there's not much draw power in this game compared to Masters, but there's a lot more compared to One Piece. Then we get to the next one, so number 5 is the Pilaf loop. Now this is one that I feel is busted. It's just very strong, and if you can't deal with your opponent, if you're against a blue deck and you can't deal with their board, they can make that board even stronger using the Pilaf loop. Because you might be wondering, what is the Pilaf loop? Well, it's a loop involving Pilaf, because he can loop himself to basically keep using them over and over again, and also grab back many of her effects and do other loops with other cards. Because he's a 1-drop blue extra, or a 1-drop blue battle card that has 10k combo, which is very good, especially for 1 energy. And his on players, if you have 7 or fewer cards in hand, you add it to 1 card with a cost of 1 or less, and Earthling special traits when you drop to your hand. Now, one difference I forgot about with Masters compared to Fusion World is that the extra cards have traits. So in Masters you don't have traits on the extra cards, but in Fusion World you do. And if you notice that Pilaf is an Earthling whose cost is 1, meaning that he is a target for himself. So you have if you have 2 Pilafs, you can play out 1, grab something back, swing, combo off, and then play another Pilaf, grab that Pilaf back. So you can always have a Pilaf in hand that gets a Pilaf and drop, looping around again. So you can just pay 1 energy to grab back a Pilaf, then swing it, use it defensively or offensively to combo off, and then grab it back in the next turn, and keep making use of that energy to keep getting basically a like infinite 10k combo at any time. But only that, it grabs back other cards, like the Cantrip Trunks you saw. That card is a 1-drop Earthling. It can grab that. You've got Final Hope Slash being a very good offensive battle trick. You've got a few cards that you can just loop with this, and the fact it can loop itself is just madness, especially since Blue has the whole thing of wanting to keep a 7 card or less hand to keep use effects. Even if your hand's low, you're still recurring this 1 card, these 2 cards over and over again to keep applying pressure defensively, like either very good defense or very good offense, without using too many battle cards to keep in a wide board. So this is something you definitely want to get a place of and put in any blue deck, because it's just that strong. Then we have weenie removal. So one kind of thing you can do to deal with that annoying kind of like Pilaf loop is using Zamasu here. Now he's a 1 cost, similar stats to Pilaf, being a 5k power, 1 cost and 10k combo. But his on play is choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards which cost a 1 and place it at the bottom of his owner's deck. Now that's really handy because you'll definitely be using a 4 of these in the Goku Black deck, because it goes in theme with the Goku Black strategy. But any blue deck, if your opponent's got things like cantrip and you've got it there just a free use it as a free combo to combat off a swing, a peel after they're trying to loop, a my that they've got there to gain benefits off of bouncing stuff to hand. In other colours like red having Roshi to Selfawakening, yellow having Ginyu and stuff like that. Sometimes you want to get rid of them, but you can't attack into them, or you don't want to waste your effects to get rid of them. Whereas Zamasu comes in and just come down, get rid of them permanently, but on the bottom of the deck, meaning that unless they put things to the bottom of the deck, they're never going to see it because the last if it's the last card, once you draw that, game's over. So this is a really nice way to put them away so your opponent can't get access to them easy, like in drop or in hand. You put it at the bottom of the deck, so it's gone for good, unless they can get draw through the deck. And it's a 10k combo as well, to be good card to defend with by comboing. So even if you're not playing Goku Black, this is still a good card to have a few copies, maybe 2, in any ever blue deck that would like little weenies that are just troublesome. Then we have some boss removal. So as we said, the blue is a color which its removal depends on the cost of a card. Like depending on the cost of a card, it can move amount, and it's really limited to 5 drop or less. Like most of blue's removal is 5 or less removal. It's like limited to. That gets rid of it permanently, like bottom decking it and things like that. But if you're having trouble with things that are 6 cost or more, then Goku's a really good one to help deal with that. And white doesn't deal with it permanently, it at least makes it so the damage and the issue doesn't pile up, but it means that your opponent have to keep repeating if they want to keep using it. Because the 2 cost 15k, so it's not the strongest, but not too bad for its cost. 10k combo, so it's good to defend combo with. And its on play is one of those ones that people would expect to be errata because of how it's worded. Because its on play is choose up to 1, instead of just choosing 1, it's choose up to 1 of your battle cards with 4 cost or less and return to your hand. So you don't have to return something, you can choose 0. So you can choose up to 1, meaning you can choose either 0 or 1 of 4 cost or more. So you can either choose 0 to not bounce anything, or if you do want to, you can recycle something that costs 4 or more to be used like on play effects and things like that. And that's the cost. And then the effect is to choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and just return to his hand. So any one of your opponent's battle cards, bring it back to hand. And while it isn't the best, surely you would want to bottom deck it instead. That would be too busted if there's a cheap colour art. Bottom deck it any cost cards. But at least by putting it in hand, in this game where unlike Masters you pay out things by actual printed cost, if your opponent's paying 6 energy for something, that you can't remove things like Final Flash or Vegeta, then you want to be getting rid of it. And even if you put back in the hand, they still had to pay 6 energy to play it last turn, and that probably took up most of the turn. And if they want to play it the next turn, they have to play it again, which means they're not paying anything. They're not paying anything extra. They're playing the same card over, so they're basically repeating their turn. Whereas if you didn't do that, they'd have that card still there if you didn't get rid of it, plus more cards similar like it or stronger than it to then do the next turn. So setting them back a turn is very good, and this is one that you could probably tech at 1 or 2 copies just to help deal with some big things, kind of reset your opponent's turn, so that you'd have to waste cards and attacks into getting rid of the card. You can just put it back to hand so they can play it again or lose it. And it's considering most cards that are outside of the blue's main way to remove are like 6 or more. They mostly have 0 combo costs, even if they're in the hand. They're not adding additional defense to your opponent because they can't be. They have no benefit to being comboed. Then we go on to the next one. We have the late game card being Goku Black. So Goku Black is a good one. It's a late game card. It's one that you basically focus on for Goku Black. But in the Ever Blue decks, it's a very good one for when it gets a later game. Because blue does struggle with green, and a good way to help defend a little bit and help against green is when you go to later game, when you get the bigger energy. You got this card as a great way to apply more pressure that green doesn't have an easy way to remove. Plus also, well, not the easiest way, not the easy way in their effects to get rid of everything else, but then a good way to kind of flood the board and put more pressure wide than tall against green, because green can handle things if they go tall, but if they go wide, it kind of has a little bit more of an issue, especially early. And Goku Black is a good one because it's a 6 cost 40k, so 6 cost being already out the range for even like blue and other colours, be honest, to deal with quite easily. And 40k power is nothing to scoff at. It's a big power. Unless you put something similar power into it, you can be comboing quite a few cards out, and then be able to. And whoever owns the Goku Black can combo a very few cards to help defend it after you've comboed off a few to go into it. And even though it's got 0 combo power, you're not going to run too many, maybe like 2 copies max outside the Goku Black deck, because and hopefully just so you can see it later game. And its effects are very good because on play it adds up to any cost 4 or less card from your top to your hand. So any card 4 or less from your drop, be an extra card or battle card, add it to your hand, so you can get back some new combo, some more combo power, or an extra that could be beneficial to use, up to you. And then when attacking, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, you can get the free play a battle card that costs 4 or less from your hand. So that means you can spam out things like the Vegeta that can restand, that like can bottom deck a 1-drop and restand. You got the 30k critical Vegeta, you got the Piccolo that grabs back a extra from the drop, you got the Never Goku Black free cost that draws a card and it's 20k. You got the SR Trunks that bounce back a 5 or less. You got some very good options, many very good options, and the longer it stays on the board, the more you can flood out your board for free while leaving you energy for the Pilaf loop and things like that. So this is a very good card for the late game, but then it's like the main selling point for Goku Black. Then we go into some of the extra cards. We've got the battle tricks. So, like most of them, I would just go over one card, but considering that like there's different kind of battle tricks, there's ones that are just offensive, ones that are just defensive, and ones that are flexible, but not as strong. It comes down to your playstyle. So you definitely want battle tricks, and there's good ones. You get Gallic Gun here, being a very nice one where it just either player's turn, just during battle you boost your leader or battle card by 15k power, and then if you've got 7 or fewer cards in hand, you draw 1. And this is probably one of the best of the battle tricks that come from the starter decks, because unlike the other ones where you use it and then you've lost a card from hand, so you've used up a card from hand and not get anything back to kind of do a trick, this one replaces it in hand, so it gives the power, but also replaces it in hand rather than do something else beneficial like minus something or rest something, like some of the other ones do. It basically is like not like a cantrip, but then it just replaces itself. So you use it up, and then your hand hasn't depleted because it's the same amount as it was before. And considering that blue's thing is being at 7 or less to get the effects, it doesn't matter if your hand's low because you can keep recurring yourself with this. But then you've got things like Final Hope Slash and Black Kamehameha, which are your more turn dependent kind of battle tricks, where they're a bit stronger in comboing 20k. Give it a 20k boost instead of a 15k boost, and have their effects, but then don't replace themselves. So you've got Final Hope Slash here, which is an offensive one because it's during your turn. You give one of your leader or battle cards 20k power for the battle, and then you get to bounce back something 2 or less. Or you got the Black Kamehameha, which is during your opponent's turn. You get to give something 20k or less, and you get to look at the top 3 of cards of your deck and either put them all to the top in any order or to the bottom in any order. So you've got the ones that are dependents, and that comes down to you then yourself. Do you want Gallic Gun, which is flexible during either player's turn and replaces himself, which is a very good one? Or do you want ones that have kind of more, like a little bit stronger with other kind of effects, like Final Hope Slash for Black Kamehameha, who are dependent on whose turn it is? Like, you've got Final Hope Slash, which also, like, Final Hope Slash, which can be recycled with Pilaf as well, so you can use it to attack, bounce Pilaf, pay Pilaf back, grab back Final Hope Slash, swing, and then swing, Final Hope Slash, bounce back Pilaf, give it something 20k and keep doing that. So you can always loop Pilaf and Final Hope Slash over and over again. But in Gallic Gun, it helps you filter for your deck, while also basically while giving a boost as well. So you do want a battle trick, but it depends what one you prefer, be it Gallic Gun, Final Flash, Black Kamehameha, or any combination of them. Then it comes to the last one, and this one is the removal in some good extra cards. So blue has some really good extra card removal, like very nice ones. The only problem with extra cards is that you, if you got them in hand defensively, they're not going to do anything for you. But during your turn, when you use them, they're very, very good. Because you've got Final Flash, which is an extra card that doesn't cost too much to remove some big things, because you can make it cost less by having less cards in hand, because it's permanent to reduce the cost, is all in with blue's kind of like identity, being if you have 7 or fewer cards in hand, it's 1 cost. And then you've got the Activate, which is discarding another card from your hand. You can choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 5 costs or less and bottom deck it. And then bottom deck is a good way to permanently remove something, get off the board. And 5 or less is a very good target. And then you've got Sinister Sickle, which is another one, which is a free cost, so a little bit more expensive, can't be reduced by cost, unless you use the Bulma. And its effect is you get to choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards with 4 costs or less and bottom deck them. So Sinister Sickle costs a little bit more, but hit more targets, but less costing, so 4 or less. Whereas Final Flash can hit one card that's 5 or less, and bottom deck it, but you have to discard a card from your hand, and it's a little bit cheaper. And these ones are very good. You definitely want to include them as well. Remember, Final Flash you get in the starter deck, where Sinister Sickle's from set 1. And you do want to have some of these removals, because where Final Flash hits, like, it's good against any color, really. Against any color, it's really good removal. Sinister Sickle is less good against green, but more useful against like red and yellow and even blue. So it depends how many copies you want to run. If you want to run like one each, so like one of them, and one and more of the other one. See, depending on what colors you struggle more and like worry more about. Or if you just want to go even, like two of each of them, because you can recycle them and then have a chance of seeing when you need them. It comes down to you when you want them. You don't have to get playsets of any of the cards in this list, but you do want to grab some of them. But then it depends on how many you want to run when it comes to running the deck as well. But these are very strong cards for removal, and you definitely want some good removal to deal with things. So you don't always, some things you might not be attacking to, or leave them active mode. So you want some removal, so when it happens, you can deal with them. And that is it for the blue one. So that is it from my top 10 blue staples. And hopefully that was very beneficial and useful if you're looking to run blue. Remember, if you have any comments about this, if you disagree or agree with anything, or have any other suggestions or any reasons why, feel free to drop them in the comments. Remember to like the video if you do enjoy this content, and also don't forget to subscribe and help me out get to 1,000 subs, which is greatly appreciated. But that is it from me today. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time when we go over the green staples from set 1 and the top 10 of those. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.